All right, Andy, we're about 30 seconds out here. I'll just kick us off with a quick intro and we'll be ready to go.
All right, sounds good.
And welcome back, everyone. Good afternoon to you. We are pleased to welcome Andy Westmoreland. He's the founder and CEO of TM2 Squared Inc., established in 1996. Mr. Westmoreland began his oil and gas endeavors in 1989. He has over 30 years of experience in the oil and gas industry, from field operations to sales and marketing. Andy, thank you so much for being here. It's all yours.
Thank you, everyone. We're going to start off today, and we're going to be on the tax advantages. I want to make sure everybody understands that oil and gas and whatever you do is 100% tax deductible against your ordinary income. And so I don't know what questions anybody has, but it basically whatever you put into it, you're going to get to write it off your personal income. The IDCs is what they call it, are fully deductible in the year that it's invested. And we're running out of time because we're almost at the end of the year. So anyone needing the tax deductions, we have to get invested by December the 31st. Everything that we talk about here today, we will be encountering in the next 5 to 8 days upon funding, whether we get 10%, 20%, or 30%. Let's go on to the next download. All right. M2 Squared is going to be the operator. This is a West Texas prospect. It's kind of funny. The other night I was watching Landman, and in the show, they started talking about the Clear Fork zone. The Clear Fork zone is a very, very highly productive zone out here in the Permian Basin. This is what we're going to be undertaking. Number two, as you can see in looking at the project, this is exactly what we're doing. We have 12 producing properties. Okay. This is a no drilling risk. There's very little risk in this at all. We know it has production. I've had it producing, and I am just selling 35% of my project for $20,000 a point. As you can see, the acreage is about 425 acres. We're going to go develop 12 wells, put them back into production, and there's various shots behind it. The next one, please. When you look at this, this is the map. This is just so you know why I tell you lots of reasons, but all of these are known producing wells in the area. These are the 12 wells that we will be partaking in, and we're going to do the revenue sharing prospect by going to put the wells back into production. The reason they're down right now is because, and the reason that I'm selling my interest, which most people will ask, is I had a lot of electricity in the last 18 months go down. I have about a mile, or I have about a mile of electric poles. First quarter, second quarter, 24, a whole section of that electric went down. Got it fixed. 25, second, third quarter, we had it go down, and it's still down. So I need to go fix the poles. I got to go fix the downhole pumps. I got to go fix holes in tubing and any kind of mechanical scenario. It's kind of like having a house and remodeling it and fixing it up to sell. I got to go fix everything. So that's why I decided that I would sell 35% and go fix the wells. Go to the next one, please. We're going to do a revenue sharing. I own the whole project. I'm selling 35%, 20,000 a point for 700 grand. And basically the net revenue that you will share in whatever is 26.25 is the share of the net revenue. And as long as the wells are producing, that's what you'll get. There's no drilling risk. We will get these up and producing. Next slide, please. This is a breakdown of the revenue sharing. 25 is the landowners. I'm 48, and this is the net revenue. And the investors that buy the 35% will be at 26, 30, 25. Next, please. Long story short, here's the initial investment, 700,000. There's some huge upside in this project, but it's not part of the project here today. It's this second line down here. There is drilling opportunity on this property. My idea is to go get the low-hanging fruit, bring it up, get it producing, and look at where the best prospect is, and give everybody that's in the project the opportunity to participate in a drilling project. This field and everywhere around us, the majors and what's been drilled has produced tens of millions of barrels of oil. So I know from the Clear Fork and all of that that we have oil. Okay. But as far as an upside potential, if we hit our goals and make production, people may want to do it. You will have the opportunity, not the liability, meaning you can opt to not participate. It is first right of refusal. Go to the next one, please. This is the use of proceeds for what we're doing on this 700,000 raised. Legals 20, marketing's 50, reworking wells 255,000 is going to go in and rework all 12 wells. Rework behind pipe reserves. Interesting scenario. As our wells went down from the electric in the 6 months, what we learned, we are producing from the lower Clear Fork in this property, and we identified upper and middle Clear Fork opportunities, and all we have to do, and that's in the existing well, so we don't have to drill it. We just go in, perfect, and produce it. Some offset operators from those middle and upper Clear Forks on a single well has produced IP'd at better than 100 barrels a day. I have identified this zone in at least 4 of our wells. So what does that mean in terms of dollars and cents? Go to the second. Go ahead and move. The next one. For second download on the money's economics. Very simply, guys, when you go look at this in a 1-year period, if we produce at $55 oil, 120 barrels a day, 75 net revenue, which is what we have, we're looking at $1.1 million net cash flow first year. Estimated payout, if we only do 120, we're looking at 2-year payout on 100% of the investment, whether you buy 1% or all 35%. I hope that makes sense. In questioning and answering, we'll go and we'll follow up and answer any questions the best we can. All right, go to the next one. Next download. One of the other things that I am offering today, which is this is kind of unique and why we're doing the way that we're doing this, is I also had a second opportunity if you decided you wanted to drill a well. I have a 25% position in a vertical well drilled in a van field. I had done some of this in the past, and this particular project is offsetting about 3 miles from an Exxon field that produced 1 million barrels per well. I mean, you're talking huge return on your investment if it's successful. Having said that, you can drill a dry hole and or get a marginal well. And I've drilled one well out here and it did not work. We drilled it in the fall. But having said that, go to the second slide. This is called the Woodbine Prospect in Van Zandt County. It's right over here in East Texas. There is many wells out in this area. It's in Van, Texas. It's in the Van field. Like I said, this is a 40-acre spacing. My first well I drilled did not work. There's multiple zones in the prospect. And I know that everybody's going to want to know, well, why did it work if you had so much thought process? Well, what we don't know in the ground is where the faults are. And the first well we drilled, we have good ideas in science and geology, but we drilled it right on top of the fault. Um, and you're not going to make oil drilling on top of a fault. So we've identified the best area to move to miss the fault. And that's what we're doing, drilling this well. And like I said, slide down to, there we go. This right here in the Woodbine sand, we have multiple zones. We have the Natchitoches, Pecan Gap, and the Woodbine. And albeit we have all of those wells and zones to drill to, by drilling through the fault, we hit none of them. So again, we're moving all the way over, and this has got to go down to page 6, please. This is what the remote sensing does, that what Exxon and them used in order to find those millions of barrels of oils in their spacing right out here. They're about 2 miles from us. And we're using that same satellite remote sensing to go drill the well. Again, it's good satellite, good sensing, but it did not tell us exactly where the faults are. They're not exactly identified, and we hit it on the first one, but we have moved over to where we know we're not in a fault. How do we know that? I went out and I did additional science called Telerics, and I identified that we got 8 feet of pay in this new well we're about to drill. Go down page 7. Page 7 is something else that we pulled up, and we got these logs, and these are all the zones that we can see in the logs from the well. Again, I don't want to make it look like, oh, well, you know, it's there, it can work. No, so you can see it on logs, but if you hit the fault, it's not there. So we're going to move over and get out of the fault and try to go hit these zones. Slide down a little bit to 8. This right here is all of Exxon's wells that produced on this property, and you can see their barrels of oil per day, 368. And this is the history of where they drilled and have produced since 1956, millions of barrels of oil per well. If we do what they did, then we're talking about 1 million barrels of oil at 50 million, or $50 oil and get 1 million barrels, that's $50 million. Pretty good return. We don't need that. The next slide, please. This is a gas metering system, the soil metering. It actually tells us that we have gas. And so we're going to go in and try to produce gas with it. So we could have both hydrocarbons and oil. Next slide. This right here is the identifier of the zones with the remote sensing, and it's telling you the depths of where these zones are. And so that's what we're running against when we drill this, to see if the logs and everything we have identify this 3100 EM survey. If we can do that by drilling 4,000 feet, we hopefully can make a good well. Coming down to slide 13. This right here, 13, we're just going to skip through these, but this is 13. And this is an Exxon well. It's on the Blake RS lease. And if you look at the highlighted yellow, that's 673 barrels a day on a 24-hour test. To the right of that, you'll see 134. That's the MCF. And to the right of that, on that sheet, you'll see flowing on a 16th, 64th chunk. All of that is in that box where that yellow highlight is. That's what that Exxon well came in doing. We're not anticipating having to produce 673 barrels a day, but if we do, we'll be happier as can be. This was done in October 29 of 1994. It produced for some 40 years. So if we can get a well like that, then we're all going to be happy. the other in the package that you see 16, 17, 15, 14, those just are other wells that did just this in that field. So, long story short, the economics of it, if you pull it down, the 18, I don't know if you can turn it, but it doesn't. There we go. Yeah, one more. There we go. So, long story short, 800,000 is to drill, but I only have 25% left to sell, but it's all relative. So if you look at 25%, 275 would be the drilling on 200, 75 is a completion. We're looking at, if we produce, what is it, 100 barrels a day? Yes. At $55 oil, we're looking at a payout of 8 months. If it does 50 barrels a day, we're looking at a payout of 16 months. Both of them are very good payouts, even at $55 oil. And like I said, I got 25% at 8,000 a point. In addition to the low hanging fruit, if you don't want to drill a well. So, having said that, the continuing sheets is just if you want to sign up. So if everybody and whoever's interested, yeah, that's just the letter agreement to sign up. So at this point in time, Mark, I'm good for question and answers. I know I went through it fast, so I'm sure there's probably a lot of questions.
All right, thank you so much. Um, let's see, we had a question here. Uh, okay, they're wondering what's your projected growth trajectory over the next 3 to 5 years, and what's the key milestones the company's aiming for?
Good question. First of all, my engineering and geology department and my geophysicist, after we do this, we're looking for a growth of drilling a couple horizontal wells, 5 to 10 wells in Oklahoma. They're bigger prospects, they cost more, but we're looking to grow into that arena and move our production and development. And I come from the side of doing investments within private investors and selling bits and pieces here, but our growth is probably upwards. If are they asking what projects that we'll be spending, or
Yeah, it looks like it.
will be, depending upon, it's like anything else. The horizontal wells make good money at this price. And so at being prices are down, if we can get into some of these leases and get some of these at a $55 price range, which some of the bigger horizontal wells, I mean, we're talking 11 and 12,000 feet in the ground, 5 and 6 million cost. Um, and we're looking at 300,000 and 500,000 barrels of oil produced per well. And we're going to gain somewhere around 25 to 50% growth in the next 5 years.
All right, excellent. Thank you so much. Another question here, they're wondering is your company has it or is it ever considering geographic expansion or diversification into related sectors? For example, carbon capture, midstream infrastructure, etc.
At this point where we are, no. It's always an option, but my focus is on drilling. Uh, Prices are cheap to drill. You can go like on the 700,000. I mean, it's hard to go take proven production and go turn existing production or wells to put back, I should say. I mean, you're talking 5x, 6x. I'm not going to explore infrastructure on manufacturing or plants. One of the things that we need, as political side of the world, is we need more production. We increased production by 14 million. they anticipate with AI that we need to, our daily production may have to increase by another 50% in order to keep up with the growth of AI. So I'm going to stay focused rather than pull myself different directions.
All right, thank you. Speaking of AI, I guess this question kind of pertains to that. They're wondering what recent technological innovations have you implemented to improve operational efficiency and reduce cost?
Great question. At the size of our company and the size of where we are as far as development, AI is going to be too costly to do anything in terms. We're dealing with shallow wells, 3,500-foot wells that they're cookie cutters. We're going to use the modern technology that we have in order to find the oil, but AI won't find oil. It can give you better mouse traps for technical stuff here, there, and yonder, but this is so cookie cutter. The cost of implementing something, it may be more of something implemented in the horizontal sector as we grow in the next few years. But in terms of these two little projects that I'm drilling right here, has no effect. And that's what my focus is right now between now and December the 31st is the investors and y'all in order to get the active tax benefits, which are direct deductions from your income this year. I'm going to stay focused here before we go to 26 because AI is not going to affect a 3,500-foot rework.
All right, thank you so much. Another viewer here, they're wondering if there's any data on your website where they can look at past productions.
Uh, I don't put past scenarios up there. The reason being is because whether it's positive or whether it's negative, and that's usually it doesn't matter. The stuff I did in the past aren't involved in this well I'm drilling in Van County. But if you want to know, I can give you past production in Van County. I just drilled 60 days ago. I drilled a dry hole. It didn't work. If that is something that doesn't want you to makes you not want to drill a well, then fine. You probably don't need to be here anyway. But if you're looking at that question for what it's meant to be, is am I real? Yeah. If I drill a dry hole, I'll tell you. Just like I'm telling you now, you can drill a dry hole, you get a marginal well, but other production in the area, and I'll tell you why. I drill a horizontal well with Marathon. When I was a public company where I come from, I was a founder and owner of a public company. We drilled 3 wells, owned 33% of wells we drilled with Marathon. The first well, biggest well in the county, produced $6 million worth of gas and oil revenue in 6 months, paid out 6 months. The second well did not work. It was a dry hole. The third well was bigger than the first well. So depending upon where you got in the scenario, it doesn't really matter when you ask the question. If you get into the first one and you look at what the results are, you think, God, it's just great. Let me get in. Then if you come in and you do the second one, it's like, oh my God, that well didn't work, but the other one did. How come? Well, you can always drill a dry hole, get a marginal well. That's just part of it. But looking at the track record, I have been very successful. Since I've been out of the public company since 2015, all I've done is go out and buy existing wells and I just produce them. 10 barrels here, 12 barrels there. And I've just been making revenue and cash flow off of that. I went back into drilling wells because of the Oklahoma project that I've been preparing for 2 years. And because of some of the van stuff, drill a little vertical well here and there. And that's just where I came from. I hope that it answers your question in terms of why I don't put that stuff up there. Because I want you to know you can drill a dry hole, get a marginal well. And what happened in the past doesn't mean the future. You can't depend on past for future results. So we just have to look at it one prospect at a time. You pick the risk, you sign off that you can drill a dry hole, get a marginal well. But I'm more than can show you other stuff that's worked, and I can show you stuff that didn't work. Um, if that answers your question.
All right, thank you so much. We had another viewer here. They're asking, is the investing open for non-accredited investors as well? And if so, what's the entry investment amount?
The answer is no. I don't do anything without non-accredited investors. I'm drilling oil and gas wells. I don't want anybody to get hurt. But you're more than welcome to view the definition of accredited investors because there's an in-depth answer. For example, if you got a guy that's close and he's in the oil and gas business, they will let him sign off as an accredited investor because he knows the business. The whole point behind the accredited investor and all that is to make sure that whoever signs off knows and understands the risk and the definition of accredited. But if you're CEO of Johnny Stop and Went Company, but you don't have the assets and you're not accredited, no, I can't even take it because you're CEO of some other company. I can't even do that, or it's not advised, so I won't do it.
All right, thank you very much. Um,
However, for everybody else that's in the room that is accredited, the minimum position on the drilling project is 8,000 per point, 3,000 to complete. We will have a rig there probably December 1st or 2nd, depending upon when it finishes up drilling. And the other project, the low hanging fruit, proven producing properties, I will start that as soon as we get, and it's 20,000 a point. Go get 5 or 6 points in, and I'll continue selling that as we're bringing it online in production. And if we go out and get what I think we do, I'll probably, if we don't get fully funded, keep the rest of it. But if that makes sense, but 20,000 a point on that.
all right, thank you very much. We had another question here. They're wondering what specific environmental, social, and governance practices are priority for the company, especially concerning field operations and drilling.
I don't have any, after being in the business for 35 years, you just drill your wells, and environmentally, you keep your leases clean. Otherwise, you got the Railroad Commission regulating, and you have to go in and fix clean and make it environmentally sound. You don't, I know that Johnny Q Public thinks that it's just oil companies going out here and whatever, but it's just not the case. We're the operators are regulated to maintain environmental friendly leases, the whole 9 yards. So I'm not concerned about it. I get it done. I stay on you know, the Railroad Commission's nice list. Do your work, get it done, and stay off their naughty list.
All right, thank you. Andy, it looks like that was the last question that rolled in from the audience.
All right. So everybody just go to the end of on this deal and fill out the sheet that you're interested in and would love to see information, and send it to me, and I will follow up and send emails to anyone. I believe that the contact that we have and everything here has my phone numbers and everything and emails involved, does it not? And that's another thing. If you go to that website where the Money Show has the listing, go right there where it says requesting information that Mark has up here. Fill that out, send it to me, leave me your number and good email, and I will call you back. For everybody that's got a pen in the room, my phone number is 214-460-9326. The email is tm2squared at gmail.com. And if you want to know how all of this works and some of your questions, you'll see how each well is ever prepared. If you got 20 minutes to take a look, go visit my um, life cycle of an oil well. And that can describe to you how the prospect, like the Oklahoma prospect and our future development on the horizontal wells, will be done from start to scratch all the way to the when you plug it. And that works the same way for vertical wells. Um, and then there's also another video there that comes down. It's multi-pay sands. That is sort of like the vertical well that I'm drilling now in Van that you have a opportunity for. It was just a quick video that tells you there's multiple sands and they lay on top of each other. You drill through them and you can produce each and all of them, produce them together and make good wells. And that should leave you with a couple of things. But like I said, just go in and the downloads there of the project, the tax benefits on how they work, and just about everything we talked about here today. So you can go in there, pull it up, and then there's the identifier to send me information for what you want.
Yep, that's right, everyone. All the data that you saw on your screen, that is available exactly as you see it in the download section. So be sure to add that to your briefcase and download those items. You'll be able to access those even after the event as well, or you can save them down to your desktop. Up to you. But Andy, that puts us at time. Greatly appreciate it. Great presentation today. Thank you for taking the time out.
Thank you. Everybody have a great day. Phone's open.
All right, and everyone, you are in the virtual booth right now, so be sure to check out the company details. That will have all the contact information, website, address. So be sure to give Andy a call, get in touch with his team. Thank you so much for being here. Stick around. We have more great content coming your way.
Thanks.